So in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, if they can somehow prove, if the bankruptcy court or you prove that you have $120 or more available to pay towards your debt after necessities, then that would be called your disposable income, and the bankruptcy court would require you to pay your disposable income to the bankruptcy trustee, who would distribute it to creditors, and then allow you to discharge or eliminate all the other debts that you had. The two main reasons that I see people filing Chapter 13 bankruptcy for are: one, they make too much money to qualify for Chapter 7, or two, they are attempting to eliminate a second trust deed on a home. In a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you cannot do that. So obviously, if someone were to have, I'll give you an example. If someone has a house that's worth $200,000 in today's market, they have a first loan for $220,000, and they have a second loan for $100,000. So they owe $320,000, and their house is only worth $200,000. Through a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, we can eliminate the second loan. The $100,000 second would be eliminated completely. You would, when the process was complete, you'd only have the first loan left, which would be $220,000. Your house would be worth $200,000, and you would most likely be able to move forward in life. And as the property values continue to rise, as they have been lately, you would gain equity in your home and be able to keep it, as opposed to having that second dragging you down over the next 30 years. Another reason I see people, which would be a third reason I see people file Chapter 13, is they have such a large volume of unsecured debt, credit cards, personal loans, signature loans, whatever you may call it, that their minimum payments monthly, just to keep those cards from suing them, from going after them legally, would be, say, $1,500 a month, just the minimum payments, and sometimes they're more. In a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, we might be able to consolidate all that debt, and in the payment you would make to the bankruptcy court or through the bankruptcy trustee would be as low as $600, for example. And then, so you only pay $600 a month for 5 years. You've made your best effort to pay all the debt you can, and the balance of the unsecured debt would be eliminated. So instead of paying $1,300, $1,500 a month in credit card bills, just a minimum payment going nowhere, you're not affecting the balance of the loan. This principal's not going down hardly at all. In 5 years, in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, with a lower payment than your minimum payment, we could eliminate all of your unsecured debt.
Maybe say, the biggest regret I hear from a lot of people going through this process is that they didn't do it earlier. Once they've gone through it and they've eliminated everything, there's such a weight off their shoulders, and then just go straight into the means test, like call to action. Unless you've got more.
I'm going to say one more thing, then I'm going to go to that. That's perfect.
Okay.
Chapter 13 bankruptcy has 3 primary dates, which would help you to understand how long the process takes and what's going to happen to you, in you particular, when you're going through it. You're going to have a filing date, which could be very important to some people. The filing date, you may have a debt collector chasing you down to repo your car. You may have someone trying to foreclose on your home. You may have someone garnishing your wages. As soon as that bankruptcy is filed, the filing date, we will be protected. The automatic stay from the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, which is a federal law throughout the entire United States, would protect you and eliminate any of those credit actions, any legal actions, anything that's happening will stop on the filing date. Shortly thereafter, about 30 days after, you'll have a creditors meeting that you will attend, which is a process for the bankruptcy court, the U.S. trustee who may be appointed to your case, to review it, point out problems. Usually it's a way to, most problems can be fixed very easily if there are any at all. And then the last date that would happen in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy would be a confirmation date, when the plan you have proposed to the bankruptcy court is confirmed, it's solid, you've come to a payment you're going to make, whether that's $500 a month, $700 a month, $200 a month, you're going to make that payment for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, you're going to get relief you need. One of the biggest regrets I see from people that come into the office, call me on the phone, is that they didn't do it sooner. By continuing to pay credit cards that you cannot afford anymore, by continuing to not make a house payment, letting your house get further into foreclosure process when you want to try and save your house, by allowing the repo man to chase you around your car with the stress and the sleepless nights you're going to have from that, can be eliminated with a bankruptcy. There are a lot of options, Chapter 7, Chapter 13, and other options. You should check into it as soon as you can. feel free, if you want to have a means test done in my San Diego County office in Carlsbad, you can come in, we can do it over the phone, we can evaluate your case to see if you qualify for 13, qualify for 7, we can do that. You can also call my Riverside County office, which is located in Murrieta. We can perform that means test in a very quick manner and give you an evaluation of where you need to be and where you can be.